All right. Good evening, guys. I'd like to welcome you to our financial planning and control uh, year three lessons. So we are going to be doing some lessons will be live classes, but some lessons will be recordings such as this one. So the ones that will be recordings are things that I think are very simple, are very straightforward, where I know there will not be need for a lot of questions. But some lessons I'll then ask you guys to come through because there will be live lessons where we need to interact and you guys can ask questions. So today we want to have a little look at unit number 1, introduction, right, to financial planning and control. It's not going to be a long lecture. It's very simple. We're just introducing the subject of financial planning and control. So my name is James from Varsity Unlimited Tutors. I'll be the one that will be taking you through this particular module. All right, so let's go. So the first thing that we are going to look at is what is financial planning, right? What is the role of financial planning within the organization? So traditionally, right, accountants are more concerned with bookkeeping. They are more concerned with making sure that we have got accurate financial reports. They are more concerned in making sure that we have got cash in the bank account. So that is the traditional role of accountants. But however, over time, we developed to have what we call the financial manager of the organization. So the financial manager of the organization goes beyond the accountant's role. He is now involved in wanting to know, right? For example, the capital that is involved in the company, right? So you are operating a shop. He wants to know where are we going to get the money to pay the rentals? Where are we going to get the money to buy the materials, the inventory? Where are we going to get the money to invest in a factory for the organization? That's the financial manager. That's financial planning, right? He wants to plan in advance whether we are going to get a bank loan or whether we are going to go and list on the Johannesburg Stock Exchange, right? In addition to that, once we have the money, he now becomes responsible for allocating that money to say, okay, out of the 2 million rands that we have, 1 million is going to go towards vehicles, delivery vehicles, and then the other 1 million is going to go towards stock and salaries. So he's responsible for the allocation of the funds to the various projects and activities that the organization has. And then because it's called financial planning and control, you will also be responsible for checking how was the 1 million used, right? Did we work within our budgets? Did we exceed our budgets? What was the return that we earned from the funds that we invested within our company? So that becomes the role of the financial manager. And because the role is more complex than accounting, it means the financial manager needs to have better skills, needs to have more skills. And that is why you guys are here today, so that you can learn how to become financial managers within an organization. All right. So now let's talk about what we call the financial function. All right. So this is basically, in some companies, we call it the accounting function or the finance department within the organization. So within the finance department, the responsibility, the core responsibility of the financial department is to find finance, is to find money so that the organization can buy resources, so that the organization can operate efficiently. Right. The company needs money to buy its properties. The company needs money to pay its salaries. The company needs money to pay its suppliers. So for there to be efficient operation of the organization, you are going to need a finance department that is able to get you the money, that is able to get you the what? The capital. The finance department is also the one that will deal with how do we reward the providers of capital. Do we pay them in interest? Do we give them profit? Do we give them dividends? How do we deal with the people that have given us money? How do we reward them? So that's also part of the financial function. They also help you to actually buy, like when you're trying to invest as an organization. They will give you options. Okay, so these are the options. Which asset do you want? This one costs this much. This one costs this much. This one will give us this return. This one will give us this return. So that is the financial function within an organization. Right. So the financial function is responsible for financial management. Financial management is the efficient management of all the accounting financial facets of the organization in order for the organization to meet its objective, which is profit maximization, right? So because of that, some of the key things that you will find, right, is that within the financial management function or within the finance department, this is where they will do their financial analysis, where they will do their reports, where they do their planning, where they do their control activities, where they get money for the organization, where they apply the money to the different investments of the organization, and where they pay the owners of the capital their money back. And who does that? This is where I was saying that you have what we call the finance manager. In some organization, he is called the chief financial officer, right? The finance director. So some companies will call him the finance director, some financial manager, some chief financial officer. Some they will call him the vice president of finance. And he usually reports directly to the CEO of the organization. Then other key individuals within the financial function is the treasurer and the controller. Those are the two other people that you find within the financial function. Now, so maybe let's talk a little bit about what a treasurer does and what a controller does. Right. So a treasurer within an organization is the one who is responsible for what we call capital budgeting. Capital budgeting is the allocation of funds towards projects. Like we have got 1 million, right? Which project should we choose? It's the responsibility of the treasurer, right? Then also, the treasurer is the one who does cash management, is the one who does the banking for the organization, right? He manages the cash of the organization to make sure that we always have enough cash within the organization. He's the one who also puts the credit management, which tells us if we can sell our products on credit, what are the credit terms that we are offering to our customers, whether they pay interest or not, what is the credit policy, which people can we give credit to. Right. He also does financial analysis to assess whether the organization is performing according to the plans or not. He also does investor relations. He talks to the people that have given us the money to make sure that they are happy and they're getting their dividends and etc. Then he also does risk management and tax planning. So that is the treasurer. Then we have the controller. The controller is basically the accountant in an organization, right? So the controller is the one who's responsible for data, for the general ledger, for creating the financial statement or the financial report for the organization. He's responsible for creating the actual budgets, right? He's responsible for creating, not implementing, but creating the actual budgets of the organization and setting up the internal controls and submitting the tax returns of the organization. So you have a financial manager who's responsible for all of these things, but usually it's separated between the treasurer and the controller of the organization. All right. So what is the goal? What are we trying to achieve under financial planning and control? What are we trying to achieve as financial managers? Number one, we definitely want to make more profits as an organization. So one of the objectives of the financial manager is to maximize the profit of the organization. Then number two, we want to reduce risk. So as you increase the profit of the organization, there is a chance that you can get into activities that are more risky. So for example, you can make a lot of money from Bitcoin, right? You can buy your Bitcoin and then it can increase by 200% overnight, and you can make a lot of money. So you can say, oh, financial manager, why don't we do Bitcoin? And you say, no, we are not doing Bitcoin. Why? Because there is too much risk. It can also go down and we can lose all of the money. And so a financial manager has to manage or balance the need to make maximum profits and also the need to minimize the risk that the organization is facing. Then another objective of the financial manager is to maintain control over the cash flows and the activities of the organization, like in fact the costs of the organization, right? And then to ensure that we always have liquidity, we always have money to pay off our debts, we always have money to pay off salaries and etc. So those are the goals or the objectives of a financial manager, right? Now we want to look at some of the key terms or key concepts that as we go through this study guide, you're going to see them more and more frequently, right? So the first key term that you're going to see is capital. We are going to talk a lot about what is called capital within an organization. So capital within an organization basically represents, the Okay, sorry for that. I'm just trying to sort something out here. It's distracting me. Capital basically represents the money that has been invested by the owner of the company in the company. So that is what capital is. The money invested by the owner of the company into the company. That is capital. So capital can either be fixed capital or can be working capital. If we say fixed capital, we are talking about money that we used to buy, for example, buildings and vehicles. That is fixed capital. Then working capital, this can be like your cash in the bank account. This can be like money that you invested in buying like materials, inventories, and etc. That's your working capital for the organization. So working capital usually it's cash plus debtors minus creditors plus inventories. That is your working capital as an organization, right? Then capital can also be short-term, medium-term, and long-term. Short-term, it means that capital that is available within 1 year. Whereas long-term capital, it's capital that we have invested that we are not going to have available after, we're only going to have available after like 5 years. So that is long-term capital. So short-term capital is available immediately within 1 year. We can easily access it. We can easily make use of it. But long-term capital is available for the long term, for the next 5 years or something like that. Then capital can either come from the owners of the company or can be borrowed. So that is owner capital, which is called equity, and borrowed capital, which is called debt. Then another key term that we'll talk about a lot is financial markets. So when we are talking about financial markets, we are basically talking about the source of capital within an organization. Where are we getting our capital as an organization? Now, we can either get our capital from the money market or from the capital market. Money market, we are talking about short-term finance coming from like banks, like a loan, a bank overdraft. Capital market, we are talking about long-term finance, for example, a mortgage, bond, right, or equity from the Johannesburg Stock Exchange. That is long-term capital, right? Then capital can also come from the primary market or from the secondary market. When we say primary market, this is like when we issue new shares for the company. Right, we are issuing new shares. This company did not exist before. We are opening it up and we are going to the stock exchange and we are opening it up so people can finance it. That is primary market. Then secondary market, this is like your F&B, right? If you are an owner of F&B and you sell your shares, you sell them in the secondary market because your shares already exist. You are just selling them to someone else. Right. So those are financial markets. Then we also talk about the financial structure of an organization. So when we're talking about financial structure, we are just comparing that this organization, 3 million was invested in this organization. Out of that 3 million, how much of it was from the shareholders of the organization and how much of it was from debtors, right? Was from loans of that were given to the organization. So that is the financial structure. Then we're going to talk about terms like investment. Investment is just taking money in the organization and investing it. Whether you invest it in the stock exchange, whether you invest it in the money market, whether you invest it in a building or in a vehicle, that is still an investment, right? Then financing is the process of getting money that is going to be used in the organization. Whether you get that money from shareholders or you get that money from loans, that is financing. Liquidity, we are looking at whether you are able to pay off your short-term obligations. For example, your liabilities, your suppliers, your salaries, and etc., your bills as they fall due month end. So that is liquidity. Solvency, we are just asking the value of the company, is it more than the money that was borrowed? If you borrowed 1 million and the total value of all the assets in the company is 500,000, it means you are insolvent because it means that you don't own enough money to pay it back. But if you borrowed 1 million and the total assets of the company are 3 million, it means that you have got more than enough money as an organization. You can sell some of your assets off and pay it back. So that's solvency, the ability of an organization to pay back all of its liabilities. Then profitability, profitability, we are looking at what is the profit that was made by the company, that is the income less the expenses. So the next class that we are going to do is going to be a little bit more difficult. We are now going into the exam preparation because this is now financial projection where we are now looking at the creation of budgets. We're going to look at how do you create a standard sales budget? How do you create a standard production budget? And then how do you create a cash budget? How do you create pro forma statement of financial position, which is basically what your assignment is talking about. So thank you guys for listening through. We shall see each other next time. I'll let you guys when we are going to have our class. It's going to be a live class. It's not going to be a recording. Thank you.